morning, good afternoon. I'm not sure which part of the world my CX friends and colleagues are logged in from. So we are on to day two. So I take this opportunity to welcome you to the day two of the CX Transformation Virtual Summit. Yesterday was a very, very exciting day. We had some fantastic, thought-provoking conversations happening between like-minded CX, experts, be it people like Peter Halser, who an ex-chief customer experience officer from Riyadh Bank. We had Sachin Bhatia from Amio, and we have some fantastic, government leaders from the kingdom, people like Laila, people like from Yasir we had, as well as Ashwag. So today we have some great lineup of speakers on day two. We would be, in fact, having people like Hussein, Lena from Rockbank, Ilaria from Chalhoub, then Holly from Unilever, and Shrushti from Freshworks. So there's going to be a lot of conversations happening. I take this opportunity to welcome you for day two. And I also take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Ameo and Freshworks, who have been supporting us in these virtual events. Thank you, sponsors. And now I would like to invite Heba, the conference or the virtual conference's chairperson. Thank you, Heba. It was absolutely wonderful yesterday's session. Thank you for taking the lead and guiding us through the process. I once again request you to continue the same for day two as well. Welcome, Heba. The stage and the screen is all yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to start by giving like a quick summary of the interesting and amazing sessions that Mohammed just mentioned. So we started the day yesterday with a very engaging topic with the evolving role of the CX leader and how the CXO should be actually the CMO and how the customer experience professional should be overlooking the brand and the marketing initiatives in any company because they are one of the core touch points of the whole customer journey. We discussed the experience gap, the gap between expectations and reality of customers, and how the brand values can actually come to life and be implementable through designing and mapping these brand values to what can be actually focused on like as a customer experience strategy. For example, the consequences. So we're looking at emotional and functional parts, and then the attributes, we're looking at the abstract and the concrete. And of course, very important part is how the HR plays a role and how the employee experience should mirror the customer experience. So just like we look at the brand values, whether they're trust or accessibility or consistency, whatever they are, we have to map those brand values to the employee experience as well. And then we had a very interesting session with Ameo, where we had a discussion of with the pandemic, everyone has been forced to go remote. So we were discussing the fact, should we have remote contact centers? And is it going to end with when the pandemic ends? Or have corporates actually seen the cost efficiency and the advantages towards that? And we think more than 50% based on certain surveys and polls that have been done, that a lot of corporates are going into that direction. And we also discussed the debate between whether we should have human agents or bots. And I think the way forward is definitely the chatbots. However, we agreed that it's a mix of both. And obviously, going forward, we're going to go through more AI and bots adoption. Then the third session, which was the panel, like Mohammed was mentioning, we were looking at the citizenship initiatives done in the KSA and how they are digitizing everything that's related to all the citizen things that they do through ministries that was actually fully manual and very decentralized. And now it's all centralized and digitized, which is very efficient, and how they do certain customer insights and surveys and how they engage with the customers. So it was very useful yesterday. As Mohammed mentioned, so today's day two, we've got a great lineup of very hot topics as well. So let me start by introducing Hussein Dajani. Actually, whatever I say is not going to do you justice. So if I'm missing anything, please continue. So Hussein is actually, so he's been working for 18 years. He's currently the general manager for the digital and customer experience transformation with Nissan Motors across Africa, Middle East, India, and Turkey. So he started as a pure marketeer, but then developed more into like digital marketing and tech. And he moved from the agency side to the client side. Basically, what really caught my attention, and I've actually been following Hussein on LinkedIn, is that he's been able to build a personal brand. He's done a lot of speeches, a lot of conferences, helped a lot of companies, and most notably, he's actually worked with WPP and Publicis, and he actually got an award, the Young High Potential Leaders Award from Sir Martin Sorrell. Very, very impressive, and a lot of other marketing awards. And he's been identified as one of the 40 top marketing professionals in the region, and as well voted by Huffington Post as one of the 10 people who changed the Markham landscape in the region. So as I said, Hussein, whatever I say is not going to be enough. So if there's anything that I've missed, please continue. So Hussein is going to be speaking to us today about the digital strategy, which is very, very interesting. And I think now is the time to actually discuss this with the pandemic. This is the right time to actually be shifting from face-to-face now to omni-channel digital. So Hussein, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Hiba. Thank you, Hiba and Muhammad, for this great opportunity. So, dear viewers, I'm glad to be participating with you today. As Hiba and Muhammad mentioned, today's topic, and please let me know if you can see my screen. I really hope this is working well. Okay, perfect. Glad to hear so. So again, let's start once again. Thank you, Muhammad and Hiba, for this great introduction, and apologies, viewers, for the mishap which took place. As Hiba mentioned, my name is Hussein Dajani, and I'm the General Manager of Digital and Customer Experience Transformation for Nissan Motor Corporation in Africa, Middle East, India, and Turkey. Now, something very important which I want to start with is when we say customer experience, it's not customer service. There's a very big differentiation between them, and customer service is one small part of the customer experience. When we talk about customer experience, number one, we talk about having a cross-functionality responsibility in the organization. So basically, you are responsible for every single touch point for an organization with customers, be it existing ones or potential ones. And that means fidgetly, as in physical and digital. So I'm responsible for our platform, I'm responsible for our apps, I'm responsible for our showrooms, I'm responsible for all frontliners exposure with customers, so as in sales consultants, call center, community management, so on and so forth. So all of this encompasses what customer experience stands for. So without further ado, let me start with giving you a little bit of a background about the story of customer experience in Nissan. I joined the organization 3.5 years ago, and when I joined it, there wasn't a customer experience function globally. After a couple of weeks of joining, I was mandated with basically setting up the department in the AMI region and really kicking it off internally. It was a very exciting journey, something I was really looking forward to, because customer experience 3 years ago is when the buzzword started with customer experience. Everybody's super excited about it. But the real challenge is, how do we walk the talk? How do we really make it happen? And what we did is we went through an extensive exercise with consultancy partners of ours. And the challenge is we wanted to be able to see the world the way our customers do. We all know the customer journey, and we all knew it as being a linear one. We wanted to understand if that customer journey is still a linear one, or has it changed? So after a lot of researches, after a lot of mystery shopping, what we came up with is something we call 7 priority journeys. Now, those 7 priority journeys are not rocket science. They're applied in almost every organization out there. We just decided to couple them into 7. Other organizations might put them into 5, into 10. We decided 7. And as you can see on the left-hand side, the 7 journeys. starting from choosing my vehicle, then you've got the experiencing a seamless test drive, making confident finance decision, onboarding to ownership, managing my drive on the go, getting after sales service. And you'll find one journey in yellow, which is shopping through e-commerce, because it encompasses all the other journeys. So what I'm trying to say here is that the new journey which customers go through is no longer linear. You can come in and come out from any journey at any point in time. You know, with the world of digital evolving, now you can start checking a website from your mobile, then you will move to a tablet, then you will decide to go to the showroom, then you will come back and continue your journey on your laptop. There are so many different ways to come in and out of journeys. And this puts a challenge on us in order to create something we call frictionless and seamless customer experience journeys. This is what we really wanted to do. Um, think about this yourselves and think about how many times you come in and out of a journey without even realizing it. Now, why am I saying all of that? Because, and this is a question to Muhammad, to Hiba, and to all our viewers. I want you to think of what was the last best experience you've had with an organization. Please just think about that, because you will start thinking about it for the rest of the day, if not the rest of the week. Why am I asking this question? Because the biggest challenge for any organization is to beat the last best experience any customer has went through with any organization. This is the real challenge. So 3 years ago, as I said, I kicked off basically with the team in launching the customer experience department, and this is the roadmap of what happened. 2017 and 2018, we were very busy looking at what staff do we have in the organization, as in manpower, as in knowledge in the customer experience field. We were looking at what infrastructure is available at our end. We were looking at what customer data is available. So really, it was what we call the back to the basics era. We call it the CE 1.0, the customer experience 1.0, and it was basically laying down the foundations for how we want to start working. Moving forward to 2019, 2020, this is where we moved into the CE 2.0. This is where we matured more, and this is where we have clear plans in place, and we wanted to move to something we call integrated customer journeys, where we connect the physical world to the digital world and vice versa. Digital became the key term in that era. And the way we did that is, whether you like it or not, the more organizations grow, unfortunately, they fall into the trap of something we call silos. Every department starts working on their own. And this creates a very big challenge for organizations, because departments less talk to each other, departments less work towards one vision and one ambition. So what we did is we created something called the CE Steering Committee, which is a one cross-functional CE team. And the way we did it is we went to every single department, we presented to them our vision and what exactly are we trying to do as CX practitioners in the company. And we asked them to nominate a person in their department to become responsible for the customer experience function for their department. And what we do now, we meet once a month. What you're seeing in front of you here, this steering committee, is not only on a regional level, it's even applying on a market level. So what happens is we meet every month together, we discuss all our plans. What this ends up happening is helping the departments knowing what their peer departments are doing. And what this helps doing is creating less frictions in our journeys. So connecting really all our journeys together. This has been a great success for us and something which has become a mandate for us to have. So before I go into this, so let me tell you is that we had great plans in place. We've achieved a lot in 2018, 2019, 2020. But then 2020, after we had put all our plans in place and what exactly we want to achieve, what happened is we got hit by the amazing COVID-19. Now, why am I saying this? Is because when COVID started, we assumed it's only in China. Only bit by bit where we started seeing how it's sweeping off the world from Europe to the US, and it hit our part of the world. So what we noticed is the following. Number one is footfall to our showrooms are decreasing. Number two is people are less reluctant to take their vehicles for service maintenance. So basically, we noticed that something wrong is going to be happening. So we gathered together the steering committee, and what we did is we anticipated what future issues are going to arise or challenges that we're going to face, and what are the current ones. And based on that, we put a very clear roadmap. So I'm going to show you a small video that explains to you basically what happened during that period. And let me start. So why is this video quite important? There's a quote of our previous colleague in the organization, Daniele Schilacci. He says something which is very important. You see, rolling out a solution is the easiest thing, and any organization can do it. Technology is not rocket science. The real challenge is how do you make your employees adopt it? How do you ensure that your customers are using that piece of solution? So is it adding value to them? Does it resonate with their wants, their needs, their aspirations? And this is where the role of data comes and plays a very big role. Are all your frontliners using that solution? Are all your departments believing in that idea? Hence, we're breaking the silo. Because at the end of the day, we have one objective and one objective only, is to become a customer-centric organization. This is what we aim for, and this is what we're working towards. You see, when we say the word customer, it's not about just putting the term customer in a PowerPoint presentation. It's really living towards that. It's really being and acting as the brand ambassadors of the customers in the organization. And this is what we try to do. And hence, with COVID-19 came the birth of something we call Shop at Home. Shop at Home is an umbrella. It's a one-stop shop for all solutions, services, and product which our existing and potential customers were asking for. How do we know? Through the power of data. We basically started with each one of them, and we put a full roadmap. As you can see on the left-hand side, you are seeing all the solutions that we deployed. The first one is 360 showroom and vehicles walkthrough, as in our customers are not going to the showrooms. How do we bring the showrooms to them? A virtual sales experience, video call with sales consultants. You can, from sitting on your couch at any point in time, have a video call with a sales consultant where he will take you all around the vehicle, discuss with you your finance solutions, so on and so forth. Home test drive. Again, you don't want to go to the showroom to do a test drive. That's not a problem. We will come to you at home. Finance calculator and pre-finance application. We all know how hectic it is when you decide you want to buy a home or a vehicle, the finance basically steps that you have to go through. Now you can, with a click of a button, calculate your EMI, your monthly payments, decide which vehicle is the right one for you, and apply for a loan. So you apply for the loan online, it gets dispatched to all the banks, and within 30 minutes, you will be able to hear which bank is interested in giving you a loan and what would be the interest rate. Home vehicle service maintenance. Again, people are scared of taking their vehicles for the service maintenance. Not a problem. We'll come pick up your car from home. We will do the service maintenance to it, and we'll bring it back to you. And again, the order online. Whoever thought that people would start buying cars online? Whether you like it or not, it's happening. It's actually happening. So all of those solutions, we put a roadmap for them in the markets, and as you can see, we're about 90% completion of rolling things out everywhere. And those are slides just explaining each one of the solution. But what I would like to do is, and Muhammad, please, if you can confirm to me that you can still see my screen, it's quite important for me to show you here. See, if you go to any of our websites in Africa, thank
We
you.
can see your screen, but we can't see your camera.
You can't see my camera, but you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I don't know how to fix this, but let's keep the viewers engaged with this. If you go to any of our websites in Africa, Middle East, India, and Turkey, you will find in the tab something called Shop at Home. You go in there and you have two verticals. If you're interested in buying a Nissan, or if you basically want to own a Nissan. And let's say you're interested in a Nissan, you keep going down, it tells you Shop at Home, our lineup now available in your living room. And you keep going down. It's made out of 3 easy steps. Choose your Nissan. This is where you decide which vehicle is the right one for you. Get payment options. So basically, which finance solutions are the right ones for you, and delivery options if you want them to be delivered to you at home. And you keep going down, and we put a series of solutions over there. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them because I want to entice you to basically go to the website and check. But I want to take you to basically our virtual showroom. Now you can, at any point in time, be able to walk inside our showroom. Not only this, you will be able to go inside our vehicles and have a 360 views of them. So let's say we're interested in the Altima. And it's just loading. Let's give it a minute. My connection at home is not that great, so don't think that the experience would be like that. Anytime now? Nope. Well, let's just give it a little bit of time. Sorry about this. Another thing that we have created is something called the video call with sales consultants, as I said. So you can, from the comfort of your home, you just book it and you do a video call with them through either Zoom, Teams, or Skype. So all of this is available, and they will take you through the vehicle inside and out. They will help you planning out all your solutions. Going one step further is we created a sub-brand called Nissan Live. Nissan Live is our live stream solution. Tomorrow, Thursday, September 17, at 1 p.m. KSA time, you will be able to log in to our Saudi website where you will be going through a live stream session from inside our showroom. This is where we have the topics which will be discussed. So tomorrow we will be talking about Nissan Z. It's a special episode about it, so it's going to be a very exciting one. I highly recommend you join it. My apologies is that it's only in Arabic because we're talking the Saudi market. But even if you were interested in our previous episodes, all of them are available there. So far, we've done 6 of them, so all of them are available there, and you can see them. To go even one step further, we enabled e-commerce, as I told you before. So with a couple of easy steps, you will be able to choose the vehicle that you want. Let's say we chose the Kicks. You go in there, you will be able to calculate your EMI. You will be able to reserve the vehicle, or you will be able to buy it online. You will choose the color that you want for the vehicle, and with a click of a button, all of this is done, and the vehicle will get delivered to you at home, wherever you want it. So that's a really interesting thing, and makes it super easy. And this is what we talk about, customer centricity. All of those solutions have added a lot of value to our customers. Why is it important, and why am I really excited about this? Is because a month and a half ago, across all the AMI markets, for the first time ever in the history of Nissan, we launched a campaign called Shop at Home by Nissan. And this was the first time such a thing gets rolled out, honestly. And for me, it's something which is very exciting because you're talking about a company actually spending marketing on customer experience, which never thought that they would do it before. So let me show you the campaign that we've launched.
We are back, but in truth, we never left. Even behind closed doors, we were innovating and developing ways to bring our worlds together, because being close to you is what moves us and drives us forward. We bring you Shop at Home by Nissan, a portfolio of 6 brand new exclusive digital customer services wherever you are. Our world has changed, and now we will change yours. Start experiencing a new level of services designed just for you. Discover Shop at Home.
So this is the campaign that was launched, and in order for us to really know how are we performing, what we do is every quarter we go and we do a competitive analysis of our brand versus other brands, other OEMs, in order to really see, are we ahead of the game, are we late in the game, are we being competitive or not. And I'm happy to say that in every market in the AMI region, we have managed to basically create a gap between Nissan and its competition, which is something absolutely great. Now, I'm not discrediting the competition. Good job for them. They're actually catching up, but we are still ahead, which is a great thing. So this is just the start for what Nissan aims at doing to become even more customer centric. Stay tuned. We have a lot of more exciting things coming up. I hope this short presentation gave you an idea of what we're doing at Nissan. Honestly, I would have loved it to be longer because there is a lot to talk about, especially the role of data in driving everything that we're doing and helping us enhance our products and solutions. But that's it for now, and I leave it to you for the questions.
Wow, very, very impressive presentation, Hussein. Oh my God, I didn't think that like a corporation would reach that stage and mashallah, so fast. We've always been speaking about the future and how things should always be virtual, but for Nissan to reach this, this is amazing. And I think what blows my mind the most is that it's cars. It's not like something that's FMCG or like just off the shelf. It's a car. Amazing. I love the shop at home. I love the fact that so maybe some corporates would have a virtual like option, but the fact that you guys have everything sorted out, like for example the sales, so it's a video call and then the virtual showroom. I mean, so you can actually click on the car and see the insides and everything.
You can see the inside. Sorry, I didn't show you that.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll try it out.
You look inside the car and even more. So after looking inside the car, there are calls for action where you can, if you want to immediately speak to a sales consultant, do a video call with them, or you want to order the car online, or you want to do a home test drive. All of those are available over there, those calls for action. So really the key, Hiba, was really thinking about how do we connect the journeys together and really make as seamless as possible to customers. And the way we did that is we any solution that we're rolling out, we used to test it with our employees because at the end of the day, they are end consumers. So we wanted to make that they're understanding it very well. They're seeing it from the mindset of the general mass customers, and this is what really helped with it.
That's amazing. So I have one question from the audience. So this person's saying, I'm curious to know how the introduction to CX in Nissan Motors was communicated by management.
That's a very good question. So as I said, the CE steering committee is what played a very important role. Obviously, when we started the CX department, this is something which is very new to management and very new to the organization. So we had to really show to senior management what exactly are we planning on doing, what is our roadmap, what are the plans, try to justify as much as possible ROX, return on experience, of what exactly we're doing. But it didn't happen overnight. I'm not gonna lie to you, it didn't happen overnight. This was a struggle, and this was a challenge, and this was something that we kept fighting for day after day. And that's why the role of data becomes very important. When you're doing enhancements from a UI and UX on your platform, it's very important to come and show management how is this resulting, how is it generating results for the organization, and not necessarily sales. I'm talking here, it could be from leads, it could be from qualified leads, it could be from showroom visits. All of those become extremely important. So the more you generate reports, the more you keep sharing with people and senior management what you're achieving, the more the buy-in into your agenda and into your vision takes place.
Excellent. So I had a couple of questions myself. So
Please.
I understand that one of the challenges, of course, in the pandemic is not only the concern for safety, but also the limited resources people have, and they wouldn't really splash out on a car if they don't know. It's like, the world is full of uncertainty right now. So did that impact the fact that you built all this, the 360 virtual solutions? I mean, how did that, play a role in this?
Absolutely, Hiba. I mean, let's be very honest. Pandemic happened. People are really scared of going to the showrooms. And not only this, even for the home test drives, people were scared. I'm going to be sitting stranger, with the face masks and all of that. So our sanitization and disinfection campaigns played a very important role. With the help of CRM and direct marketing, we really kept insisting and repeating the message about what disinfection and sanitization measures we're taking, be it in our showrooms, be it in our service centers, be it with our sales consultants. So this helped very much put the message across that we are being very responsible. We are aware of the fears and the concerns. So yes, every sales consultant has got with him or her the temperature measurement. So basically, when you put all those measures in place, this helps a lot. Like when we take the car for service maintenance, we bring it back to you. The steering wheel is basically wrapped with plastic. The gear is wrapped with plastic. The car seats are basically wrapped with plastic, just to show that we are actually very much abiding by the responsibilities. Yeah,
that's amazing. So in terms of the financial side, so in terms of people during the pandemic are afraid to spend too much, and of course investing in a car at this time would be something very sensitive. So did you, for example, change your payment plans to kind of support people to do that?
So I can't really comment on that part because the sensitivities of it. But I can tell you that there were a lot of offers. Yes, we rolled out offers. So we did a lot of campaigns. That could be from either extended service maintenance or facilitations when it comes to payment options. Yes, many things we've helped out from this. The finance part in this part of the region is very much different than Europe or the US. So for instance, in Europe and the US, you've got insurances that in case you lost your job or you couldn't do the payment, insurance companies will pay on your behalf. In this part of the world, we don't have this much. But for instance, for all frontliners, we were providing a lot of facilitation when it comes to payments. So I'm talking here doctors, I'm talking here nurses, I'm talking here delivery restaurants, I'm talking police officers. So all the frontliners, we were just as a thank you, tribute to all the efforts that they've been doing and for really putting their lives at risks for us. Yes, we worked a lot on special packages for them.
Thank you, Hussein. I have one final question. So with the shop at home, I found it very interesting. So that choose your Nissan, the payment options, and then delivery options. It looked too good to be true. So could you tell me one of the challenges that customers were saying that they were still complaining that was there in the physical sense, but is not there at the shop at home?
Look, you will never nail it 100% correctly. So it depends on the percentage of the people that are expressing negatively or not. But if I tell you in terms of what were the real challenges that we had to overcome, is really really training the frontliners. You're talking here about a sales consultant that's always used to selling a vehicle inside the showroom. And now you're telling him you're going to sell a vehicle through your smartphone. This is not an easy thing. You know, you're locking a deal. And we're talking here, selling a car is the second biggest investment that a person will do after a house. So you're talking about a new way of operating, which we had to abide to. Number two, when you're talking about home test drive, people think it's super easy. Yeah, we can do a home test drive, but you got to think about this. It's about the time, the drive from the showroom towards the customer's home, then the drive back to the showroom, and then doing the sanitization and disinfection of the vehicle, and then making it ready for the next customer. So all of those, really, if you don't have the right systems in place in order to be able to track everything that you're doing, will actually lead into a collapse of your solution. So yeah, we faced a lot of challenges, but honestly, I have to give a very big, high five to our team. They've been amazing from every single department, even our dealers who bought into our vision of shop at home. It's a very daring and bold proposition, and I'm very happy to see that we lived up for it. And this is a great thing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Hussein. This was really, really. I'm super amazed. I'm gonna go in and look at the website later.
If you're in Egypt right now, you can do a home test drive, by the way,
No
with
way.
us.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you, Hussein.
My utmost pleasure. Thank you, Hiba, and thank you, Muhammad. And I hope the viewers were satisfied by what they saw. Please stay safe and take care of yourself, and good luck with the rest of the day.
Thank you, Hussein. So
Pleasure.
next up, guys, we have AI-powered future of customer support. This presentation is by Freshworks. But just before I go on to that, I'd just like to remind the audience to go on the webinar. You'll see a section called handouts. And I'd like to remind you to just check out the handbooks and the handouts that we have from our sponsors, from Ameo and from Freshworks. Just take a look at them later. So I'd like to introduce Shristi. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. So Shristi is the regional manager for GCC for Freshworks. So she's been working for 9 years in sales marketing, and she is a seasoned SaaS and B2B business leader with experience in go-to-market strategies, leading region-wide projects and initiatives across the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and APAC. So welcome, Shristi. We're very looking forward to AI, of course. As I said, we had an interesting discussion yesterday with Ameo about the bots. So machine learning, AI, and all this is definitely the way forward. So I'll leave the floor to you. You need to unmute.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I
perfect.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Great. Thank you, Heba, for a very fantastic introduction. And I've been listening to all the conversations from yesterday, today, and I'm overwhelmed. Okay, what's happening with customer experience? What's happening with the way businesses have changed, how they're working? And I'm really glad to have got an opportunity to represent Freshworks at this conference and summit. And I'm really excited for the next 20-30 minutes where I'll be talking more about artificial intelligence and customer experience. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. So this is the first time I'm using GoToWebinar. So just, give me, let me know once my screen is, once you can see my screen. Is
yes,
my
yeah,
you can perfect, great, thank you so much. So the topic that we'll cover today is how artificial intelligence and machine learning is the way forward. and how it's important for organizations and for every business to maintain a balance between AI, machine learning, and human interaction, especially in terms of customer engagement. So not only customers, but also when we talk about internal customers as well, be it your employees. Right. Before I do that, a very quick introduction about myself. Like you correctly mentioned, I'm heading the regional business for Freshworks for the GCC region. I've like been in the industry for close to 9 years now, heading various GTM strategies in Middle East, Africa, and Europe. And now with Freshworks, we'll be covering more on how, as an organization, we're transforming the way businesses are leading and functioning. So, as an organization, right, these are the different products that we have under the Freshworks portfolio. We are a leader in the customer engagement section and platform. If you see, all our solutions are primarily divided into two broad categories. The first category is primarily revolving around customer engagement, and the second is employee engagement, or we rightly say it as your internal customer engagement, because happy employees lead to happy customers. Talking about customer engagement, we have various solutions ranging from AI chatbots, AI customer help desk ticketing platform, AI sales CRM, marketing platforms, as well as we are very strong on internal collaboration tools and IT service management tools, along with project management and task management, etc. So all those solutions revolving around everything which involves connecting to another stakeholder or another business or another person. This is what Freshworks specializes in: engagement and collaboration. So very quickly, as an organization, we started around 10 years back in 2010, and right now we have 12 offices globally. But due to this pandemic and due to COVID, I would say that we have transitioned into a 3,000 office company across the globe, with our different 3,000 employees working from different parts of the world. We have approximately a presence in 145 countries across 40,000 organizations. And talking about some of our, investors, till end of last year, so we are well backed up by Excel, Capital G, Sequoia, Tiger, etc., raising up to approximately $400 million of funding. And currently, we are evaluated at approximately $3.5 billion. So if you see, we are well recognized by well recognized brands like Forrester, Gartner, AWS, etc. And these are just a few customers across the world under the Freshworks umbrella, right? So if you see, we have customers across various sectors, so be it automotive or the financial sector or the public sector and retail especially. We have all the big brands under the Freshworks platform. And talking about primarily Middle East and Africa, obviously the list is not limited to this. We have a very exhaustive customer list, but these are just few of the customers who have given us the authority to share the names publicly with the industry. So if you see organizations like Emirates NBD, Air Arabia, Sterling Bank, Al Masaud Group, Aramex, MultiChoice, they're all part of the Freshworks family, and our aim is to just grow the family and ensure that every customer is able to take care of their own customers and their business. So earlier, what we thought was 10 years back, it was all about how software is eating the world, right? But now it's at Freshworks, we believe that how AI is eating up the software world. Our AI platform is called Freddy. Freddy is the name of our artificial intelligence and machine learning platform by Freshworks. And it's all about maintaining a balance between the human interaction as well as artificial intelligence. So Freddy for our customer experience platform ensures that humans and artificial intelligence are working together to deliver um, to deliver very unique customer experiences. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges customer leaders are facing these days. So, we have seen a very strong increase and spike in the support volumes that organizations are facing these days due to COVID. We have seen a lot of challenges when it comes to hiring and onboarding employees recently. With every organization working remotely, it's obviously a challenge, but it's not something which is not possible. um, Earlier, organizations were looking at customer experience departments at costs, but now the challenge is not only to look at the costs revolving around it, but how to improve the bottom line, and how we are moving from a traditional cost center to a revenue generating platform. And I must say that customer experience, like correctly mentioned by our other speakers as well today, it has overtaken price and product as the key brand differentiator. As compared to any other factors available, because if I am a happy customer, I'm getting all the relevant support across different platforms with an omni-channel presence, right? So half of the job is done. And we have seen that companies with a strong customer experience retain 89% of their customers, and that's a very, very strong number, guys. And it also means that at the same time you're improving the CSAT and you're also working on the NPS constantly. And obviously, all this is measured by and affected by how much friction you can reduce for your customers, like we saw in the presentation today earlier by Hussein, right? How much friction you can reduce for your customers, and how efficiently your agents can service their needs without the dependency on different teams. So what's the magic formula, right? How a company can provide a superior customer experience? It's very simple. um, two two primary factors or drivers to provide a great customer experience. First is a no-brainer, that is providing a zero contact resolution for your customers, and how you can reduce customer friction by getting them to solve the problem themselves. So be customers, be it on your websites or any online platform, right? Be it your social media, be it your WhatsApp, for example, or any other social platforms, it's all about how you can increase the deflection rates. And the second is obviously how you can automate the repetitive tasks of your agents, of your employees, and enhance their productivity, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to how much you're able to decrease the average handling time of each customer your employees are dealing with. So it's all about single click automation. And obviously, artificial intelligence is here to help, right? With Freddy, we ensure that your customers and your employees don't get only recommendation, but they get answers to your problems and solutions. At the same time, they're learning and adapting, and they're not static. It's all about making it accessible to all and not just for data scientists. So you don't need to be a coder, or you don't need to be an engineer to start adopting artificial intelligence within your different customer experience groups. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to be more productive, right? You don't want to be busy in unnecessary mundane tasks and repetitive tasks, right? And what better if it's all about maintaining a balance between artificial intelligence and your customers. And of course, we're not talking about artificial intelligence replacing humans, but it's all about maintaining a balance. Like I mentioned before, there are two main components of our customer experience platform when it comes to our artificial intelligence. Freddy, we ensure that with the help of bots, on chat platforms, on your websites, on your mobile applications, on social media platforms, be it Facebook or WhatsApp or WeChat or any other social media platform, right? LinkedIn, Instagram, you're able to enable your customers get answers to their questions automatically, and they can guide themselves to faster resolution without agent intervention during the initial stages. And when we talk about your agents, right, it's all about decreasing the average handling time by your agents and how they can move to a more productive environment, and just eliminate all the mundane and the repetitive tasks. And we have seen some great results. Like I mentioned, we work with a variety of organizations across the globe, and we have seen a 20 to 60% increase in the number of tickets which get deflected without a human contact if an organization is using our platform, the Freshworks platform, and the agent productivity, or let's say the average handling time of a ticket, has decreased by 10 to 20% for all the customer service or customer experience representatives within various organizations, or be it the sales representatives in various organizations. So these are the remarkable figures that we have seen after organizations have started adopting to our Freddy for artificial intelligence platform. So without taking much time, this is just a brief overview of the entire 360-degree view of our customer for life cycle software solutions that we provide. Obviously, it's up to each organization what and how they would want to use it. It's extremely customizable, and not all organizations need everything, right? It totally depends on the different use cases. So if you see, we have a very robust sales CRM and a marketing campaign platform integrated with a chatbot and live chat platform. Also, we have 360-degree view of our cloud-based call center software. We believe very strongly on collaboration, so with the help of Freshworks, we ensure that all your employees are able to collaborate with each other and respond to customers within a matter of few minutes with the help of our AI-powered sales and support software. And our software is it's so easily integrated with other softwares that we have a marketplace of 1,000 plus applications which are available. So let's say there are other applications like Google or any other application that you would want to. All of these applications are available in the marketplace with out of box integrations with Freshworks. And it's all about connectivity and integrating your different applications to ensure that organizations and different teams do not work in silos, and at the end of the day we're able to deliver the ultimate customer experience. Because let's face it, if we are able to provide a good customer experience, we are also at the end of the day retaining those customers if they are existing customers, or let's say if they are new customers, we're able to capture those new customers more easily than before. So, yes, I would say that COVID has brought a lot of challenges, but at the same time, it has also kind of opened up many avenues and many, windows for us to think in different manners. And it's not that you want to, transition into an AI platform completely, right? It's all about taking baby steps. So you have to start today in order to reach where all the organizations are planning and thinking right now, right? It's all about software, it's all about artificial intelligence, it's all about um, studying how your customers behave on various platforms. So much so that I know these days my phone can track everything that I'm doing. So obviously that's scary, but then at the end of the day, it's all about maintaining a balance. So it's all about, like I mentioned, starting small and then growing big. um, as months and days go by. So very quickly, as next steps, if anybody would be interested to learn about our AI-powered chatbots, particularly on how customers can interact with the different businesses wherever they are, how they can reduce wait times by 80%, and how customers can also engage on WhatsApp. We have that upcoming on the 29th of September. And if you want to register for it, please feel free, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate your request, and my team will get in touch with you. So I'm sure you would be seeing a poll right now in front of you, so it would be great if you could just vote and give your opinion on the poll if you would like to learn more about our bots and our AI platform. We'll be more than happy to connect to our team members so that they can discuss further. So I'll wait for a few seconds till the poll is on. And Mohammed, let me know once the poll is over so that I can quickly move on to the last slide that I have.
Thanks, Shrishti. I'm just going to be publishing the poll.
Okay, so is my screen still viewable? Okay, great.
That's the poll results, Shrishti.
I can't see it. Probably you can share it to me after the webinar.
Okay.
Great. So let me know once I can start presenting my screen again. Okay, great. So I would just like to conclude this session by a few points that I would like everyone to think about, is that where your customer engagement today is and where you want it to go, and how AI can help you in your support and sales environment. Because obviously, AI is not there to replace your agents, right? It's only there to assist them and make life and your business simpler. And is AI good enough for your customer support, right? So these are a few points that I want you to think about, and probably let us know your thoughts. And if you have anything else that you would want to talk about or discuss about, or you want to know more about Freshworks, or talk about more on what we discussed today, please feel free to drop me a note on this, and I'll be more than happy to connect myself or connect you to my team. And thank you so much once again for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you virtually. Hopefully, we'll be meeting soon. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Shrishti. Actually, we have a question from the audience.
Sure.
So the question is, on chatbots, how do you maintain personalization to be able to accommodate and respond to customer queries more actively?
Okay, thank you for this, Heba. So our chatbots are extremely customizable. We have a no-code chatbot builder, and with the help of artificial intelligence, it's extremely customizable, be it the questions or the content or the branding. So whatever flows or whatever intent based, or whatever flows that you want customized as per your use case, it is customized as per that.
Okay, thanks. Do we have any other questions, Mohammed?
No other questions, Heba.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Shrishti, for your time. And I just remind the audience to check out the handbook for Freshworks in the handout section. Thank you.
Thanks, Heba. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So actually, I want to invite Hussein Dajani back on to ask a couple of extra questions that I got in from the audience that I missed. So Hussein, welcome back. We couldn't get enough of you.
Thanks, Heba.
So let me
Thank
just
you.
out the question.
Fire away.
So what should the actions taken to encourage other departments to believe in the CS practices and the importance of being a customer-centric organization?
So very good. So when I talked about we created the CE steering committee, as I said, individually we met with every single department and where we took them through a very consolidated, detailed deck about exactly what is the role of customer experience. Why are we doing it? What are the objectives of it? What kind of KPIs we look for? Because again, when we talk about working in silos, every department becomes more and more independent, and every department becomes much more protective of their function. So we really wanted to assure them that we're not coming there to take their jobs. We're not coming there to assume their responsibilities. On the contrary, our success relies on their involvement and their participation with us. So the more you get them to become part of your customer experience journey, the more you will be able to win. You need to show them very much about how much everything that they're doing is actually contributing not only to the success of customer experience, but to the overall organization. This helps a lot. So again, as I say, it's not an easy journey at all. It's something which takes a lot of perseverance. It's a process which takes a lot of effort in order to really gain the trust and the support from every function. So it started with doing with them the initial meeting. After that, making them nominate one person from their function that will be responsible for customer experience in their department. That person attending the customer experience steering committee on an ongoing basis and making them present what their plans are. So showing them that they are the owners of the projects rather than us taking over those projects. This is extremely key.
Yeah, makes sense. Actually, another thing that I've realized in other organizations is that usually people are resisting and pushing back because they don't actually know the definition of customer experience and all the different details within it and how it could actually impact everything in the company. So with, I wouldn't say it's a simple training because it obviously takes a lot of time. Like you were saying, it's challenging.
Oh, yeah.
But when they do understand the real definition, then they're, like can get more buy-in. It's easier to convince them that way.
Fear plays a very big aspect, to be very honest with you. So when people fear something, they try to oppose it and try to push it. And this is where the educational role plays a very big part of this.
Yeah. Okay, second question is, without a clear CX strategy from senior management, I'm often feeling like I'm filling in my own job description and justifying my existence. Was this a similar journey for you at Nissan Motor?
Again, obviously, like I said, 3.5 years ago when I joined Nissan, there wasn't a global customer experience function. There wasn't a predecessor for me in that job in Nissan. So I came and I had to really, with the help of the team, we had to build everything from scratch. The starting point for us is, as I said, is really looking at what is available out there. What talents do we have? What infrastructure do we have? What customer data do we have? And so doing a lot of audit, doing a lot of surveys, testing things ourselves. Because at the end of the day, you need to start finding out what are the pain points that are there. The pain points will be able to drive you into putting that customer experience journey. So there's something I didn't have time to talk about it in the presentation, but a major project that we underwent through is something we call the customer experience journey mapping. As a customer experience practitioner, I rely on two functions a lot in the organization. The first one is the market intelligence team, which is our research team, insights team. And the second one is the ISIT team. So those two, I have to work very closely with them because one department, the ISIT, helps me in laying down the foundation, making sure that, for instance, the DMSs are connected to the LMSs, Salesforce, so on and so forth. All the API integrations are done properly so that the data is flowing in the right way and making sense to us. The other department is the market intelligence, which is helping me a lot through all the researches that they do, the surveys, the mystery shopping, so on and so forth, because this is what will be able to provide us with the voice of the customer at the end of the day. So after we worked on it, it took us about 4 months to work on it, and we devised a full customer experience journey mapping. So as I said, we have these 7 priority journeys. Underneath them, we were able to find out what are the pain points in each one of the journeys. Then we put the ideal customer journey mapping that a customer would go through or is actually going through. And then we put what solutions we need to deploy in order to turn the pain points into positive points. And then what would be the benefit to Nissan and what would be the benefit to the customer. So what I'm trying to tell you is one thing: don't wait for somebody to give you the direction. If nobody's giving it to you, you need to create it yourself and get people to buy in what you are suggesting. Again, I've spoken to so many customer experience professionals out there. Everybody goes through the same challenge. It's a new thing. It's a new function that didn't exist in the past. So we are creating something from scratch. We are fixing things. I'll give you just a very small example. I personally haven't walked into a bank's branch for the last maybe 5 years or so. Then I had to do a transfer to Spain, and they told me that they want the actual paper slip of the transfer. Now, I remember that there used to be those papers in the branches. So I went to one of the banks. I came in and I couldn't find the paper. I went to the teller and I said, "Where's the paper of the transfer?" And they said, "Oh no, we moved digitally." And I'm like, "Okay, so how can I get it?" And they're like, "You gotta go home, go to our website, print it out, download it, print it out, fill it, and bring it back to us." So I'm like, "Okay, that's great, but right now I'm in the branch. Is it possible to give me that paper?" They said, "No, it's not possible." I'm like, "Okay, do you have a corner where there's a computer and a printer?" They said, "No." So I'm like, "Let me understand this perfectly. You want me, I'm right now in your branch. You want me to go get in my car, drive back home, do this, and then come back to you?" And they're like, "Yeah." Um, this tells you that the people who are putting the process didn't actually think of what the journey a customer goes through. So this is where it's extremely important to really challenge this people and really keep pushing so that what you want to achieve gets done. You will face a lot of opposition from many departments. Only by showing them how the process is broken will you be able to turn it around. This is my best advice to you.
Wow, amazing story. I really like that because I mean, yeah, a lot of companies they come up with these amazing strategies, but when you implement them, there's something, and this is why they do the customer effort score. So absolutely, it makes absolute sense. So I have another question for you, Hussein. How do you balance decentralization and empowerment to every single department and business unit and acceleration of results?
Okay, look, so I sit on the regional side of things. Okay, so I manage the markets underneath me, and one is you got to get the trust of the markets. You got to play the role of the educator to them. You really got to keep educating them, and the only way for you to educate them is by number one, telling them what you are working on, what your global counterparts are working on, and number three is what competition is doing. This will enlighten them into what's happening there. Um, Four is you got to keep supporting them a lot. So rather than you being like the policeman to them, no, it's more like you're their partner because their success is your success at the end of the day. Um, so really, because it takes a lot of time, really spending a lot of time with them. If you're talking about my role was new, imagine in the markets, it was 100 times much stronger, tougher, you know. So managing the decentralization only happens by putting a clear roadmap and agreeing on timelines and making sure that we meet those timelines and those deadlines and those rollouts that we want to do. Again, regular meetings, less emails, having more face-to-face meetings through VCs or through calls. Prior to the pandemic, I honestly used to live on a plane. So I was literally jumping from South Africa to India to Turkey to Saudi, so on and so forth. Post the pandemic, and this was the real challenge, is how do we learn to work in the new normal, which is how am I able to get the pulse of a certain market only through a VC? And it actually worked. So, as challenging as it is, it did work. Is it running smoothly? Absolutely not. Nothing will run smoothly. But at the end of the day, we were able to tackle a lot of challenges and able to keep running that roadmap going smoothly.
Very, very interesting. And what I've realized about decentralization as well, Hussein, is that if you focus on the quick wins that you get early on the project plan, it really, really works. So if you're going to look at like trying to decentralize everything overnight and you're looking for quick results, like big quick results, that's not going to work. So usually that's the way it's done. So the first quick win, you use that, like to market the whole and to get the buy-in for the whole thing.
You're absolutely correct with this, Hiba. Initially, when we first started, it was all about really quick wins and really showing about how we can turn things around and make them, because we needed to show results. This was extremely important. What COVID-19 proved to the whole organization is that we are an agile organization. We can work at speed. And to be very honest with you, yes, we are a multinational company, but to wait for things to come from global all the way to us used to take a lot of time. So this is where we went to our global counterparts and told them, we will, by essence, we will follow the guidelines of global, but we will run our own solutions in this part of the world. And markets like, for instance, I would like to give a very big high five to our markets in India and in Turkey, who are really super agile and running amazing solutions. Like when we wanted to do, for instance, the video call with the sales consultants, you need to do a lot of integration between the system and the LMS and ensuring the process is followed properly. So what we did is we rolled out all those solutions that had to be done automatically. We did them manually, but we applied the whole process of automatically. And this is where it came great. So for instance, in Turkey, the video call with the sales consultants are happening through WhatsApp. So we integrated WhatsApp into the calendars, and this is how it went super smooth. So you really need to think about how can I shorten the time and how can I break down the complications in order to be able to bring a certain solution to the market in a fast manner.
Wow, very impressive. Thank you so much, Hussein. We took up too much of your time.
Not at all. You. My utmost pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care, Hiba.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So next up, we have improving customer experience through impactful content. So I'd like to introduce our next guest speaker, Holly Richardson. Holly has more than 14 years experience in London, Dubai, Madrid, and the United States and Germany. She has won several awards for her use of innovation and purpose-driven strategy. She's also been recognized globally for the impact she's made on Unilever's business. She's currently the digital and customer experience transformation leader with Unilever Food Solutions in the Middle East and North Africa. So, Holly, the floor is yours. Holly, can you open your camera?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was on mute. Can you repeat the question because it cut out?
Oh no, I was just asking you if you could open your camera.
Oh, sure. And can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Hi.
Great. Hi.
So thank you very much for having me. Today, I'm really excited to speak about a topic that is quite dear to my heart as well, around improving customer experiences through impactful content. Because this is something that we have been working really hard at Unilever Food Solutions to get right over the past several years. And it's still a learning process, but it's very much something that we're focusing on. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Holly Richardson. I am originally from San Francisco, and I currently live in Dubai, but I have also lived in Madrid. I've also lived in London and Cologne, Germany. I have been working for Unilever Food Solutions in Dubai for the past 5 years, and as their digital and customer experience transformation leader. But before that, I had 10 years of experience in all of these countries, working in digital, marketing, and customer relationship roles for very well-known companies. And I'm also a certified customer experience practitioner. So just to give you a little bit of context behind the company that I work for, Unilever Food Solutions, we are a manufacturer of food ingredients for professional kitchens. So these are some of the many brands that we produce. So just to make it clear, we are a B2B business, so very much P2P, people to people. And the people who we serve are food service professionals who are passionate about creating and serving food and beverage experiences that people love and who are prepared to make sacrifices to see their businesses thrive. And a key question that we've been grappling with is, in this environment where the people who we serve are, extremely and busy, under a lot of pressure, and where their business is severely impacted by COVID-19, what is the role of content in improving our customers' experience with us? And how can this content guide our potential customers towards sale? Because we're also a business. So what we did is we revisited the what and the why of customer experience management. As we all know, customer experience is the sum of every single interaction that a customer has with your brand across their entire relationship with you. So it includes not just the what's, the touch points, but also the hows, the perceptions and the feelings the customer experiences. Because the way a customer feels is how they will remember you, and that is really important to manage. And then also why. I mean, we've all seen these stats before. It is really well proven that customer experience and having great customer experience drives customer satisfaction, loyalty, and revenue. So this means that every interaction that a customer has with us across their end-to-end journey at any touch point, they are presented with content. And the product and service that we offer itself is fundamental to drive the customer's experience. So if you have a bad product or a bad service, then there is no amount of content that will save that. So you definitely have to have a good product and service. However, the content that exists around and throughout the product and service should also be treated with a lot of care and not left to chance. And this is how you manage your brand and your reputation, because strong brands are easier to sell. So how do we design and deliver content to improve our customers' experience with us, and how can we ensure that it's impactful? So again, it goes back to the basics of designing a great experience. First, you have to understand your customers' goals. Second, you need to solve for their problems. Third, you have to solve for their end-to-end journey. And one way that you can do this, and the first step is, just like Hussein just explained earlier, is through customer experience journey maps. This is one example. This isn't ours, but one example. And this is really important because it is the journey that your customers actually go on according to their objectives. So it's not the sales funnel. It's not what we want to get out of our customers, which is still important because we drive a business, but also it's really, really important to understand the journey that the customers actually go on, whether or not you control it, and what their goals are along the journey. So here in this map, what you do is you really try to understand the customer's goals along their journey, and thinking what key questions and problems do they have along the way. And do we deliver content that answers these questions and solves these problems? And if not, there's a gap that we need to fill. And importantly, how does our customer feel along their end-to-end journey? Does our content address these feelings at the appropriate stages? Because again, how you make a customer feel is how they're going to remember you. So it's critical, it's a very critical element to managing their experience with impact. Another way that CX journey maps help with the content strategy is that it helps us to determine, are we delivering this content on the channels and touch points where our customers actually are and in the way they want to receive it? So having this map really helps you to design your content strategy. Here's another example, and you can see people are mapping what the customer is thinking, different steps along each stage of their journey, which actions they take, which touch points they are on, because all of this should influence your customer or your content marketing strategy. Here's an example from Unilever Food Solutions, my company. And by mapping the end-to-end experience, we realized that there were critical gaps in our content strategy. For example, we were not addressing a key moment in our customers' buying journey. And there were also other areas where our messaging was not aligned with our customers' goals. So we were taking actions to fix this. Fun fact, did you know that 60% of a campaign's performance is down to content? So only 40% is how you execute the content. So this tells you how important it is to get content right. Because with execution, you're spending money on paid media, on advertising, on maintaining your website and all of your digital touch points. So let's maximize the performance of these investments by ensuring that we have truly useful content to our audience, that this content catches their attention, especially on digital channels, because people's attention spans are so small and they're just scrolling. So you really need that thumb-stopping content to make them stop and pay attention. But then also critically, this content needs to be designed to convert, because again, we are also a business. So we want to drive our customers towards a sale. Another fundamental pillar of delivering a great customer experience is ensuring that what you deliver is aligned to your purpose and your brand promise. All of this has to be informed by customer insights. So basically, you need to walk the talk on your brand promise, and content has a key role to play here. But UFS, our brand promise is to support and inspire our customers and also to help them progress in their business. And these promises are a direct reflection of our customers' biggest needs. It's what they've told us that they needed most from us. So all of our content directly aligns with these promises, both in terms of our tone of voice, which is to be a progressive coach. So for example, our tone of voice, again, is to be a progressive coach, because a progressive coach is supportive, and they're also continuously trying to inspire their coachees to try new things. They're progressive. And this is the tone of voice that we carry throughout all of our content and all of our touch points, whether it's an online or through our Salesforce or telesales. We all want to act like a progressive coach. And our customer promises are even evident through the actual content that we deliver to our customers on all touch points. So for example, for our customer promise of support, our people are our content. We have a lot of people that support our customers. We have professional chefs working for us to support our customers who are professional chefs. We have sales staff, telesales, live chat agents. All of these people are there to help support our customers. And we have a very high customer service attitude at Unilever Food Solutions. And then our customer promise of inspire is all about helping chefs keep up with diner trends, because diner trends impact their business. So all of our content is trend-based to help inspire them. And then our promise to help our customers progress is about driving initiatives that make the food service industry future fit. The one thing I love about Unilever is our commitment to sustainability. And so therefore, we need to make sure that our food service industry is sustainable. And that's where this customer promise of progress really fits in. For example, we have launched a huge initiative called Fair Kitchens, which is about driving positive work environment for chefs, because as you know, kitchens are notorious for being extremely challenging environments to work in, with really high rates of stress, depression, sleep deprivation, and burnout. So we are working to address this and working with partners across the food service industry to address this because it's not sustainable for our industry. And there are several other initiatives, services, and content that we offer to our customers to help them progress, such as UFS Academy, which is a Netflix-style training app for chefs where they can get quick culinary training, video-based, on the go from the palm of their hand. We also have Rise Up on Waste, which helps as a service that helps them to track and better manage food waste, because food waste is poor for the earth and it's bad for their profits because it's just wasteful. And we do so many other things in terms of building communities to help build a more stronger, sustainable food service industry. The content is evident on every touch point, online and offline, throughout our tone of voice and our people's behaviors, as well as the actual content itself, which is all directly linked to our customers' buying journey and also our customer promises, so that we can make sure that we solve both their issues as well as progress our business together. And of course, there's measurements. In order for us to improve the customer's experience through impactful content, we need to track if what we are delivering is meeting both the customer's expectations as well as our business performance. And to do this, what you need to do is, again, going back to the basics, setting SMART objectives. And as you know, what that means is that it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Because if you don't set objectives in this way, you're less likely to achieve the results that you're aiming for and more likely to have misaligned expectations across the business. And how you will measure against these objectives depends on the touch points in the journey, as well as the channel. So each stage in the journey will have different KPIs and metrics, and so will each channel and touch point. But the one thing that's really important is to make sure that you set KPIs that are both customer-centric as well as business-focused KPIs. So distinguishing CPIs, or customer performance indicators, from KPIs is that with a CPI, the first thing that you need to take into consideration is that it must be an outcome that is important to customers. And second, a CPI must be measurable in increments that the customers actually value. So this would be time, convenience, number of options, dollars saved, or recognition of their achievements. There are many more, but it really depends on your own context, but that's just to give you a bit of an idea. So in summary, the journey that the customers go on with you, whether it's through your product or around your product, this journey is their experience. And here's ours again. And you can see that there are journeys within each stage of their journey. And within each journey, there are touch points. Journeys and touch points are empty without content. So it's really important that to deliver and improve customer experience through impactful content, what you really need to do is understand their goals, solve customer problems, solve for their end-to-end journey, walk the talk on brand promise, and also measure and optimize from both the customer's perspective as well as your business perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you. Definitely agree that you could have a great product and you could design a great journey, but without the content, or if it's poor content, then that wouldn't work at all. So this has been very insightful. Due to time constraints, if we have any questions, we'll ask at the end of the conference. So we have to move on to the panel meeting right now. Thank you so much, Holly, for your time. This is really great and insightful. Thanks. So next up, we have our panel discussion, reinventing customer experience in a post-COVID virtual world. Actually, Holly, you're going to be part of this as well. So I'd like to introduce Bin Zad. Bin Zad is Assistant Vice President of Sales for EMEO for the Middle East and Asia. So he's actually been working for 18 years in sales operations and 15 years in similar customer experience and contact center domains. He's worked with brands like Avaya, Dell, Cisco, Aspect, and now he's been with EMEO for the past 7 years. So, Bin Zad, I'd like to give you the microphone and you can take it there. Bin Zad, are you there? There you are. Oh, you need to unmute. You're still muted. We can't hear you, Bin Zad. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much. I just changed the speaker.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
So the virtual hiccups. Right.
I'd like to introduce the other panelists.
Yeah, do we have the other panelists? We can probably have them on the screen and I can introduce them all.
We have all the panelists there. They just, once you start introducing, they will join.
One by one. Okay, okay.
Fine. Thank you very much, Sarfraz. Good afternoon, good evening to all the viewers across the globe. Really excited to have be present here and discuss about the topic, which is reinventing customer experience in a post-COVID virtual world. Right. Before we start, let me introduce the panelists. We already have Holly here. We just heard a brief introduction from Holly before she started the presentation. Let me just quickly recap. She's the digital and customer experience transformation leader for Unilever Foods, Middle East and North Africa, with more than 14 years experience across the world, won several awards for innovation, purpose-driven strategies. Holly has been recognized globally for the impact she has made on Unilever's business. And for the last 5 years, she's collaborated with leaders across, to transform data systems, peoples, and capabilities to increase Unilever's customer centricity, operational efficiency, and sales effectiveness. More than anything else, she's very passionate about driving real value for real people, customers, employees, and a wider community in general. Thanks for joining, Holly. Pleasure having you there. Right. Our next panelist. Yeah, next panelist is Ms. Lina Yahia, Associate Director of Service Excellence at RAC Bank. Can we have you on screen, Lina? Can you hear us?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, perfect. So just to introduce Lina, she has over 17 years of banking experience across various retail banking functions. In the past several years in RAC Bank, she's played a key role in redefining the customer experience strategy and service quality goals. Lina has played an instrumental role in RAC Bank winning the Dubai Service Excellence schemes like Best Service Performance Brand Award for banking services for two years in a row, as well as the much popular Dubai Quality Appreciation Award for this 2017-18 year under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Right, it's a pleasure to have you here in this panel, Ms. Lina.
Thank you very much. Same here.
Yeah. Our next panelist is Ms. Ilaria, the head of CX and strategic marketing at Chalo Group. Ilaria is a CX leader passionate about designing for ever-changing customer needs and delivering experience that matter to people. Can we have Ilaria on screen? Do you hear me, Ilaria? Yeah, yes, I can see you. Yes. Yeah. She's got extensive experience in customer management field, supporting fashion beauty brands from design to execution of their CX transformation. Before joining Chalo Group, she is a consultant at Accenture and Deloitte, supporting many brands across the industries with the customer experience design and omni-channel transformation execution. It's great to have you, Ilaria. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. After all the ladies, I would like to introduce the gentleman who is with us, Mr. Amin. Mr. Amin, can we have you on screen? We don't see you. Can you hear us?
Yes, Binzar.
Welcome. Mr. Amin, the director at Mawarid Electronics. Amin is a customer service professional with over 20 years of extensive experience in contact center management, the customer experience management, customer service, and workforce management. He's been in various senior manager roles in multinationals and applied all the acquired experience and knowledge to actively contribute to the growth and financial bottom line of the company, and a good friend of mine as well. Right? Welcome, Mr. Amin. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Shahbaz. A pleasure to have you. Ladies, pleasure to have you on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A warm welcome to all our panelists and the audience present today. We've all seen how COVID has actually slowly moved from east to west, seen the impact in Asia initially, and then affect the Europe, Middle East, the West, and Africa. Right? We've seen some of the business doing extremely well, taking advantage of this situation, and certain businesses definitely are struggling because of the direct impact. Right? To start with, I would like to hear from each one of the panelists as to how the COVID has changed the way business operate in the regions or in your specific business verticals, because we have people across various verticals, right? We have from consumer hospitality, we have finance, retail, telecom, BPO. So we have panelists across various verticals. So I'd like to hear from each one of you as to how the business has changed in terms of their operations. I can see probably Holly first up in my screen, so you can start.
Ladies first.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure. I'll start. So yeah, no, I mean, I work in food service. So our customers are restaurants and hotels, airlines, and catering companies. So needless to say that our customers and our business have been severely impacted and challenged to adapt and evolve and prepare for a better new normal. From our customers' perspective, obviously they've had to increase their delivery and takeaway options. Many of them didn't have, they had to race to try to figure this out. They had to shut their operation or severely reduce it for long periods of time when they were already on razor thin margin. When they were open, or when they are open, had to introduce contactless services and race to improve their own digital marketing, because many of our customers weren't good at marketing themselves digitally, so they've had to kind of learn that on the go, as well as increase their hygiene standards, obviously. So it's been tough. It's been really tough on our customers and also our business. But with every crisis comes opportunity. So it's really about, not fearing it and adapting, because you could be a bigger fish in a smaller pond. So the challenges that we've had and how we've kind of addressed them at Unilever is, we've shifted our product offering to make them more relevant for our customers right now. But also there's been this huge drive internally to accelerate our learning and upskilling in a really rapid and remote way. So there's huge effort in building capabilities for the fast changing environment. And there's also been extremely strong leadership with a purpose-driven culture to pull through.
Perfect. How about you, Larry?
So, as Binzad, as you were saying, I work at Shaloub Group, so it's the biggest retail luxury in the Middle East. So we have 300 plus brands across fashion and beauty, and we have over 600 stores across the region. And when this all started, we had to close almost all our stores and find new ways to engage with our customers, and moving from the in real life to the URL, right? So the first thing, as Holly was saying, you have, yes, challenges, but at the same time you have opportunities, right? So the first one is that I think we were very agile in adapting our business operations. Of course, there was an acceleration, tremendous acceleration when it comes to the e-commerce sales, and Shaloub Group achieved in 1 month during the pandemic the target goal that we put and set for 2025, which is amazing. But beyond the e-commerce, I think that the opportunities and the changes in our business were mainly about, finding new ways of communicating. So we had to change our tone of voice. We worked a lot on, building the sense of community, the sense of belonging around the brands and the business. We focused a lot on the health and safety measures in the back office processes, the warehouse processes. Our store associates find new ways of engaging with the customers, building genuine connections with them, checking on their health and safety. New solutions like clienteling solutions came up, and there was a heavily shift in the communication channels towards the social media, because we all know that, there was a heavy consumption of social media during the pandemic and the lockdown. So yes, that's it in a nutshell. But I believe that, the retail was, going through a big transformation even before COVID, but this COVID accelerated many things, and we want to see the bright side in everything. So let's look at this.
Yeah, well said. So even the previous presentation, I heard Hussein from Nissan actually talking about this, how they made these changes. Even the cars which are actually coming back from service, how they sanitized and covered and made sure that safety is, taken care of, right? So those are the changes that, every industry or every vertical goes through. Ms. Lina, we would like to hear from you regarding this. Lina, can you hear us? So we'll just give it a moment. We'll come to Mr. Amin. Mr. Amin, your thoughts around it.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. See, the pandemic, so the COVID-19 was a real surprise for the whole world, and especially us for here on the MENA or on the Middle East. For us at the BPO company, especially on the BRIM things, the challenge was, it was a surprise, fine. It was freaking out, but it still was a very good opportunity for the business growth. The business growth, especially on the telecom sector, food sector, as ladies mentioned that, but the growth was very high for the online. For us, it was a surprising in all. However, the change was productive on the business and was very welcoming from the team. And with the success of the teamwork here and the preparation we had, we transformed completely, done completely 90% to 100% to 95% working remotely. The challenge was the gear up. We not gear up. It's out of the sudden we found ourselves like we need to work remotely. The good things with the cloud services is fine. On Brim, it was challenge, yet we managed to have it successfully 100%. Thanks God for that. And we have seen a result that we never see it when the people on Prim. In the growing business was very comfortable for the team, working remotely. The change the change happened to the team. They found themselves suddenly working with their premises. It took us like a couple of days. I'm not exaggerating if I say that 72 hours, we fully moved the entire team working remotely. You know, on the contact centers, that the space, the cubicles is near to us. So we just have to need the guys and the ladies and the boys and the girls to work remotely. But the challenge was huge, but it went well, and it gives us another opportunity now on the business. Now we start even getting a proposal for work for serving a remote remote company outside KSA. Experience it worked very fine. The voice was clearly customer satisfied. The traffic increased dramatically on the social media. We come to it later on. Cost increase on a 40%. Imagine, because of the demand on one of the items that we're serving telecom, we're serving food, we're serving educations. Telecom was booming. We know that everybody went home, everybody was demanding an internet. School were there, that those days school they still were going. So it was a challenge. It was interesting, but thanks God we went through it and we are ready. It doesn't make now when the schools come back and when they roll back now, we don't feel the change. Still, some of the teams are working remotely, and it was a good experience. And I think it's opened another business opportunity for the social medias and those stuff.
Sure. So yes, it has been a challenge, and it's presented as a lot of opportunities. You talked about the remote environment. We would like to hear more from you. I'll come back to you on that. Before that, I'd like to hear from you, Daria, as a CX leader, right? Talking about digital transformation acceleration. Do you see digital transformation as a sustenance measure, or for growth in the post-COVID world? Is it going to, how are you seeing it?
Look, I definitely think that digital, will enable our growth even in the post-COVID world, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to experience, data, and technology to succeed in the new retail experience world. Now, luckily, we at Chalhoub Group, we started our transformation journey way before COVID, and we launched our 900 days of transformation with Shift movement, with the aiming to transform our business into hybrid retailer, bringing luxury experiences to the fingertip of our customers everywhere. Now, what I think is that as the stores started to reopen, we realized that people went back to their preferred channel, which sometimes is the store, because I feel that the desire to go and look at the products, to touch, feel, to interact with the store associates, that will never go away, right? So especially if you're buying luxury stuff. So I really think that in the post-COVID world, especially for retailers, we need to stop talking about online and offline and to treat them as silos. We need to and stop using words like multi-channel, omni-channel. I really believe that we live in a mono-channel world, where if you break down the journey, you have certain steps that can happen online, other steps that can happen offline, other steps is it's somehow hybrid, but it's up to the customers, and we have different customers archetypes, different customers personas. So some of them, they would choose to go online, other they would go offline, other they would prefer the hybrid, but we can't force them to go either in the store or online. We need to give them the options, and it's up to them what are the pieces of the journey they want to experience in the store or online. But what I feel is that the digital shopping revolution goes way beyond e-commerce, and we have many examples, right? We have the rising of online concierge services, the virtual consultation for beauty and fashion brands. We have virtual fitting rooms in the stores. We have apps for the customers to make appointments to go to the stores. We have clienteling solutions leveraging on data to empower our store associates and frontliners to keep customers engaged and to personalize every single experience. We have real-time personalized customer service. We have, the hybrid retail shopping where you can order online and pick up from the store. You can return, online, irrespective whether you bought online or offline, etc., etc. So I really believe that, this is the future in the post-COVID world.
Thank you for that information. Very customer-specific engagement based on their personas is something that, especially for a business like yours, which is targeted at a segment which is, luxury fashion brands, right? And I could not get that one specific terminology nomenclature that you use. Not omni-channel. What is mono-channel? Did you say?
Mono-channel, yeah.
Mono-channel. Okay, that's an interesting terminology. Okay. Thank you for introducing us to that. Okay. Let me come back to Holly on the digital as a digital transformation leader. How are these changes going to impact the customer experience, right? So we are talking about customer-specific, persona-based engagements. Is it going to annoy the customers because of the change, or is it the need of the hours and customers are demanding it? How would you look at serving these customers during these challenging times?
Actually, similar to what Laura said, it's actually been very good for me in my role, because we've been doing our digital transformation journey for years now. But COVID-19 has really accelerated that, and it's helped to move the entire industry in that direction, because again, we service food service professionals and chefs, which are not the most digitally savvy, and even the distributors through which we sell our products, they're not that digitally savvy either. But this has just forced them to kind of like wake up and evolve their business models like really rapidly, and that served all of us much, much better. So now we're seeing that our customers are much more receptive to interacting with us more and solely on digital channels, and to accepting like new digital services that we are offering to them, because that was a little bit of a barrier before for a large percentage of our customers. They just weren't willing to adapt. And that's one of the key rules of driving customer experience transformation. You have to go, or you can only go as fast as your customers are ready to go. Like what Laura said, you can't force them just because you think you want to go, make everything completely digital. If your customers aren't ready for it, you're going to fall flat. So COVID-19 has been, really great in that regard, and really accelerated our digital acceleration.
Okay, thank you for that. So you can only pace. You need to pace yourself. You can only go at the pace at which the customer is ready to accept, right? So very insightful information. Let me come back to the term that you used, Mr. Amin. As an operational champion, we'd like to hear from you as to today, business globally are looking at working remote, right? How do you see this change? Have your organization or how have you adapted to this change? And was it an overhaul in terms of your business transformation, or switching in bits and pieces? So how was this transformation?
Mr. Amin, sorry to interrupt you. Binza, the Lena is back. Her webcam is not functioning, but then she is back in the discussion.
Thank you for that information. Thank you for the information. Not a problem. I'll just direct the next question to Ms. Lena. Thank you for that information. Yeah, you can continue, Mr. Amin. Yeah. Not a problem, Lena. Please welcome. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Well, Bezat, for us as a BPO, we're already on a digital platform. It was thanks to COVID-19 again, we were having some pending actions, but it helped us to accelerate it. Thank you to supplier also, especially Amayo, that put us on the 360 degrees. That it helped us a lot. However, yet it has been a challenge journey initially, And like any other product, any other process, that it took us like 3 days, as I mentioned earlier, to do the change, to the new process, to settle the teams down while we do the change. For the organization to adopt the digital, adopt the working environment remotely, yes, we had the directions, and we agreed with the management that this is an area that we need to invest more on it, complete the process. Working remotely have not only, what I mean is not only seen increase on the business, but also it's less stress. I honestly felt it on the agent, for the team. It's less stress than working on Brim. It's increased the productivity, better attendance, less stress, better focus, working hours by themselves, team, because it was a lockdown here. We have it on KSA. The team, they just like, I have no problem even working after working hours, as long as, especially the ladies, I'm referring, and thank you to the team if they hear me on this. They even offer more to stay more, serving more after the shift, after the roster finish. It helped us a lot. The things what it really surprised me, and it helped me it make me happy. We know the turnover on the contact center industry side. On the pandemic and during the COVID-19, my turnover, it's 60% better. I mean, the people don't go, people don't, less stress, they work remotely, they're relaxing, they're home, his cup of coffee beside him, he's got anything that to do. So that's the amazing things that I've got change on 60% on the turnover, which is wow. The female prefer working from home as well due to that, which help us a lot. The working environment, flexibility on the timing. So it was a really challenge, and it was a really good chance for us to learn more, work more on the remotely. And as I mentioned earlier, it gives us even another business opportunity outside to serve other people across the board. We are fine. We can do it. Connectivity, we're fine. And it was amazing experience, and alhamdulillah, we passed it safely, and we are ready to do it more and more. Now we have a team on Brim. I actually doubled the team on the same premises, double the team, have other team that are still working remotely. And that's the real challenge, and the real added value on the business grows. And we hope that everybody stay home safely. We serve you as much as we can. The increase on the channels are dramatically happening. We have opened a new challenge. We're still in the whole omni challenge, but we can see that people goes on the social media more than the calls, chatting as well. But it was a good chance, better productivity for the team, better focus, less stress, and that's the main thing that I needed from the team. The less stress, just put underline on the less stress. For the agent, that's the amazing thing that we're getting out of it.
Great. So from the agent perspective, better productivity, lesser stress, a better focus, and overall for the business, you've seen that the turnover has dramatically increased. And from operations point of view, you were even able to cater to other countries outside of your current operational regions, right? So these were the changes that you've actually seen. Great.
Yep.
So that's a great opportunity that the situation has actually presented. So now that Lina is here, Ms. Lina, you've been instrumental in designing and winning several programs in service excellence. According to you, what is the most critical challenge when moving your customer service, whether it's remote like what Mr. Amin said, or moving to other channels, other digital channels like Ilari and Holly was mentioned? Was it an IT governance, onboarding, collaboration, business operations? What was the critical challenge for you?
I think as most of the panelists have covered, I think COVID has been a key for us as an organization where customers.
Your voice is a little low. Am I the only one facing this issue?
Yeah, it's the same as us.
Okay.
Better?
No, it's the same. We can hear you, but then very feeble, very, very low.
What about now? I'm just trying.
Yeah, it's much better.
For some reason, my digital support has failed me today. Is this better?
Yeah, it's better. We'll be
I'm
just
not
silent.
sure. Yes.
It's a little better.
Yeah.
It's not as loud as rest of the speakers, but then yes, it's better.
I'll try to speak as loud as possible then.
Yep.
Yes,
This
this
is
is
perfect.
perfect. This is perfect. You can go ahead. So
Covering us.
just to repeat the question, what was the most critical challenge that you've had, and how did you counter it?
So, like we said, like some of the panelists have covered, COVID has been helping us a lot where customers have already migrated to digital as an outcome to the challenges that were faced. Employees were already working remotely as well. And we have seen in our perspective that it's not only about digitizing. We had to reimagine how our customer journeys were, accelerate those shifts into different channels. And with that, we have actually opened up many supportive channels for customers to reach us, and in particularly in banking, if you know, a lot of the requirements were required for customers to meet us face to face. So we had to reimagine the entire journeys and help customers immediately, support them by reaching to us easily through other channels like email, contact center, web chat, and other channels as well. One of the challenges that I have faced in particular was keeping the momentum for employee morale, especially when you have physical interactions limited. But with that in mind, we have been in touch with all our employees regularly and helping them transition into the model of digitizing majority of our services. While the benefits of digitizing customer care is very important, we needed to also ensure that the root cause of how customers wanted to interact with us is maintained to help them migrate, especially when it comes to customer service interactions. From a digital perspective, we needed to ensure that the customers transitioning as well is smooth and easy. With that in mind, we have immediately converted many of our communication approaches into more supportive. We started contacting customers, so we initiated an engagement program where we contacted our customers, trying to initiate conversations on how we can help them during those times. And I think these personal touches have really helped combined, of course, with the collaboration of our employees to make this pandemic, I would say, or this challenging time a main reason for customers to remember that personal touch. And I think that communication or regular communication with both our employees and customers have helped us not only survive this pandemic, but also I have seen them thrive by remembering these interactions from our end.
Okay, thank you for the insights. One key element that you touched upon is the employee morale. I can totally understand, the interaction personally, even for me, with my team has actually increased when we are working remotely. Otherwise, we are there at our individual offices or cubicles working and assuming that the other person is available and only when it is required you go. But then during this time, yes, you need to be regularly in touch with them, boost up their morale, and of course the shift to other channels. Coming
And I
back to
think
the, yeah,
and mainly
sure,
just
go
one
ahead.
more point in business operations, and I think it's across all industries and not only banking. It's very important to have that flexibility to convert your business operations to support those customer requirements, and that's very important for you to have the insights of customers, what is their preference on what channels they'd like to have, and being able to use these insights to convert your business operations in a more agile manner.
Yes, you're right, Lina. This was something Ms. Holly was also mentioning in terms of, or Ilaria was also mentioning in terms of adapting to the pace of the customer, and being flexible to be presenting the operations or your products and your offerings to your customers in the way that they want it and approach that they would prefer to have, right? I would like to ask another question based on one of the previous sessions yesterday as well as today. With the physical distancing and minimum contact or contactless operations, we talked about the digital channels. What are the various channels and the effective, engagement channels that you'd like to provide to your customers, and what do you think will be more effective? Like maybe a bot or an email or a chat, voice. What do you think will be more effective, and what is going to be driving the future when things get normal? I would like to hear from each one of you regarding the various channels of operations. Maybe I will start with Alina, yourself.
Yeah, sure. So today, with what we've seen, we tend, or organizations tend to concentrate on their e-care efforts in mainly three channels: the digital applications that are available, the social networks, and the chats and website emails. I believe that this is an opportunity that will continue to grow, especially with the increased interactions, mainly in social media activity. After all, you always know that the volume of tweets, the volume of interactions where customers have been wanting to understand or get information about products and services, they would always use the social media and for me as well, the call center in banking in particular. With that in mind, although the digital customer care or e-care industry is very vast, we see a majority of our customers continue to use the web and mobile applications for certain services, social networks and contact centers and web chats for information. So customers really prefer that live interactions where they can immediately get the answers to urgent and complex situations that they're in. And with that in mind, there are several areas that you need to have consistently across these channels. Mainly the quality of the service that you have. So regardless of whether the customer reach you on email or via contact center or the digital apps, you need to have that consistency in the e-care availability across all these channels. You need to have that personalized touch. So when a customer is speaking to you, you need to understand where the customer is coming from and assist them in that rather than moving them to other channels. And of course, having that empathy that the challenges that the customers are facing in today's situations to help them, basically complete or conclude their requirements through one channel. And I think that's my perspective of the channels that they are using.
Thank you, Lina. What about you, Holly? What is your perspective in terms of these various channels?
Yeah, that's exactly what we are working on now with our digital acceleration. I mean, live chat definitely went off the hook. Became much more important to us during COVID-19, and we're integrating chatbots now so that we can, make the experience more 24/7. Because right now our live chat is serviced by humans, so we really want to offer that 24/7 support, as well as webinars now, because we also have professional chefs and our sales teams who used to visit face-to-face. We're very much a very face-to-face business model with digital as a support, whereas now we've kind of flipped it. Whereas digital is like the most important, with the face-to-face being only when something else goes wrong. There's no other way of contacting the customer. So the webinars have been really, really important for us for many regards. We've had so many webinars with partnering with other industry influencers to help our customers during this time, help them navigate all of the regulatory changes, how to stay afloat during these really, really challenging times, to do product demos and so forth. So that's been really, really good. And then that whole service layer that we just discussed, and making sure that you've got that single customer view and all of your data integrated and then passed with tasks passed to the right person at the right time so that they know what they need to action. So these are definitely the things that we are working on at the moment.
So, thank you, Holly. What about you, Ilaria? Like, what have you seen as a shift?
I relate a lot to what Holly was saying. So I think that definitely there is a shift towards the digital channels, the e-commerce, the app, the social media consumption that we were mentioning before. But I really believe that, I mean, what will drive, the effective customer engagement in the post-COVID world is to emphasize on the clienteling 2.0 for retailers. And this means not only giving, the store associate the right tools to keep them engaged with the customers, sending over the latest products and services, but it's also having one-on-one appointment, beauty consultations, fashion consultations, live streaming events like sales event on social media. I really believe that this will be the most effective customer engagement communication channels. And I believe that also this requires a bit of thinking about the role of the store associates itself, because we're asking the store associates to do things that were not part of their original, job description and scope of work. So they were originally asked to do operations in the store, but now we're asking them to think hybrid, to assist our customers on their online shopping experience. So it's a lot of also working on how we upskill our, front of the house in order to achieve that future state.
Great. Thank you for that. Mr. Amin, in your line of business, the interactions.
I think the ladies have, the ladies have covered most of the things. It's the shared, industries. But
right,
yes, the social media was booming up. Had increased on the traffic on social media by, like you say, 70%. Okay, on the chat is still chat also the increase of over 60 something percent. Unfortunately, I'm not yet adopted the chatbots, but we are start the process already to accurate it, and we'll have it soon. The service as well. It's but the good things. One of the good things that we got it from the COVID-19, in one of our clients, we had the one-stop solution, one call solution for the standard products. Where we are able, if the standard product, we do the whole sales from the one call, from the call to request the sale, we do provisioning on the system and close up the leads online. That's it. We waive out the steps of the sales team. That's also thanks to COVID-19. It was a challenge, but we have to adapt it. The challenge that we have, the obstacle we have it, we overcome it in a short basis. As I said, also the other opportunity, but we need to look at it. It's a real what Holly mentions now. We need to go on the chatbot for the 24/7. It will really more efficiency, and the productivity of it is very good. And I think we'll be able to go live in a couple of months, just final tuning on those stuffs. But in general, social media increased dramatically, and the mobile app also it play a big role on it, due to the increase of the sales, through increase of the request, customer request. Mobile app, it's easy. It's easier than even chatting. You just press your request and you go to it. One of the things also, it helped us the online. We used to make the team feel like we're not far away. We used to have the regular meeting with the teams in Microsoft on other platforms. It helped us to have a team meeting. Honestly, we don't feel lonely. We don't feel like we're working far. Yeah, people still getting in touch. Meetings are added actually during the COVID-19. Meetings are added, not reduced, because people are working remotely. So you have meeting after working hours. There's no working hours actually when you work remotely. you just in all day out. So meetings are good to relieve the people from the stress they have it from the outside environment, not on the office. The social media again and again, that things that we need to look after it, all of us as a customer, for our customer experience, for our communication skills, different media, omni channels, as all that we need to look at it, but we need to focus on the digital platform. And my advice, like, let's go on the digitals. The human interface, we just reserve it for the critical point whenever it's support. And it's always, even if you go to a chatbot, it's always subject to roll back the calls to the agent, or the conversation to the agent based on special setup that you do it. And that's it. The social media was just killing us.
Great, great. So, how do we handle the complex situations? One of the points were like how a face-to-face is flipped to digital, right? The hybrid situations, social media, and mobile applications, something that I think everybody is adopting as a channel now. Even in a previous one of the previous speakers mentioned, in terms of uh, biggest challenge is to actually understand the context as to why your customers are reaching. If you can get that context and the anxiety level, I think we will be able to understand and have the right channel of interaction, whether it is a bot for regular interactions, or an email, or a chat, or even a video, as everyone says, next big thing, right? So with this, we'd like to conclude and with this remark. Sarfraz, if there are any questions from the audience, we will take it, and else we can actually sign off.
Linda, thank you for that. We do not have any questions from the audience. Probably Heba should be having something, but just one kind request to all panelists is to give their closing remarks for the session, in their own words. Thank you, Punzat.
I guess I can start, so I really have to go. I just have to say, without customers, there is no business. So you've got to look after your customers and stay super close to them, and yeah, stay close to their evolving needs. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. It was a great pleasure taking part and hearing from inspiring CX professionals. And I believe also from previous sessions that I attended, we all have the same thoughts and discussions and doubts and concerns. So it's great to align to each other. My final point would be, really, if you really want to make a successful transformation project, co-design with real customers, because we tend to fall in love with certain ideas, but sometimes those ideas are not what the customers are asking us to work on. So really co-design and think what the customers want.
Thank you.
Bindad, thank you for having us. It was great discussions. Pleasure to see you guys all here, successful, and looking forward for participating in other webinars. The thing that we need to focus is just listen to our customers. We need to take in consideration all the negative input from the customer rather than the positive input. Always complain, it helps us. And we come across such things before, but we learn it now. That we need to focus and have an action immediately on whatever customer recommended. Interacting with the customer's fast response and the first call resolution is very important for us. And with us together, we hope to have another session again. We get added from devices from different advices from different team. Thank you all for having us. Pleasure meeting you. Stay safe. Good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, Ms. Lina, maybe a closing comment from you.
Yes, so from my end, number one, thank you all for having us today. It was a great 2-day sessions that we've personally learned a lot. And I say that CX is something where it's a journey of never-ending learning because our customers have always changes in their requirements and their needs. And now that we're all experiencing a new norm, this is our opportunity to really think what's right for our customers and find ways to nurture those needs in a more flexible and agile manner, making it easier for customers to interact with us across all channels rather than just focus on one channel, and making it easier for them to choose their required channel and making it easier for them. So thank you once again, and I look forward to more webinars of such manners. Thank you.
Thank you, Lina. A big thank you to all the panelists for sharing their thoughts and valuable inputs. And thank you, audience. Take care and stay safe. Over to you, Hiba.
Thank you, Binzad, and thank you to all the panelists. That was a very, very interesting discussion. And maybe it's not a question more than just agreeing with what you guys were saying, is that not going all full-fledged digitizing 100% is not the solution. Sometimes we need to strike the right balance, and definitely, just like you said, we need to ask the customers, and we need to always, based on the data that we've seen and the numbers, we need to make decisions based on what was successful, because not everything is particularly successful if it's fully automated or digitized. So I'm just going to give a summary of the day, a quick summary, because we're running overboard. Sorry. So we've had a very interesting day. We started off with Nissan's success story. What was very important to note is that teams cannot work in silos. If you want to have a customer experience strategy that's successful, you need to have cross-functional teams. So like Nissan had a customer experience steering committee. Hussein showed us the amazing shop at home, where everything is digitized, where you can buy a car at home, which who would have thought that we could do that right now? So it was very interesting to look at that digital strategy, where everything physical has become digital. Even the test drive can come to your house. And then we had the Freshworks presentation, where we looked at how AI is going to help us. Freddie, focusing on customer engagement, agent productivity, where they've seen real cases of deflection in the number of tickets and reducing average handling time for agents. And of course, and I really like the name of the software, Customer for Life, Freshworks 360, really, really interesting. And then after that, we had the session with Holly about Unilever, where she shared with us that 60% of the success of a campaign is based on the content itself and how good it is. And the summary of what she spoke to us about was always understand the customer goals, solve the customer problems, not what the company thinks the problems are, solve for the end-to-end journey, walk the talk, and measure the brand promise from both the customer and the business perspective as well. And we finally concluded with the very interesting panel. So yeah, it was great. It was a great 2 days. I've personally learned a lot. And I wish we can continue having these forums where we can share best practices together. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for the opportunity. And thank you to everyone. It was a pleasure meeting everyone.
Thank you, Heba. It was absolute pleasure having you in the virtual event. Thank you for graciously accepting my request to be the chairperson. I look forward for more such physical events. I just hope we don't lose on that. That's the real fun, the real enthusiasm, and everything comes in. As much as digital is the new norm, but we want to strike a balance between the digital and the physical events, like how Hussein had mentioned earlier. So thank you. Look forward to meet all of CX leaders and innovators in another digital format very soon. And until then, stay safe, stay blessed, and be careful. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.